Also, right-wingers in Congress targeting America's Muslim community. No surprise here. In March, the House of Representatives will begin hearings on preventing domestic terrorist attacks. Who is at the center of this? Our friend, our foe, Representative Republican Peter King. He's leading the hearings, and he has made it completely clear to me. It's somewhat clear to Lewis. He's still coming around on it. I'm sure it's clear to most of our audience that he is going to use this post in charge of these hearings to stoke fear and suspicion about American Muslims instead of an actual, fair, logical exploration of critical homeland security issues. And we've seen hearings like King's before. 1950s, Senator Joseph McCarthy. He exploited widespread fears which were provoked by the Cold War to launch a hunt, literally a hunt, for what he saw as a web of communist subversion in the U.S. And he was targeting individuals, Lewis, not by their actions, but by identities and affiliations. How is this different than Peter King choosing to, instead of saying, let's figure out the sources and context in which we have violence happening in all forms, including 20 domestic terrorist attacks in the U.S. that have nothing to do with Muslims, 60 that were successfully foiled. Let's have that type of hearing. No. Peter King is saying we need to look at Muslims. We need to, like Joseph McCarthy, look at people based on their identity and their affiliation to figure out where the danger lies. Am I off base here, Lewis? Tell me I'm wrong. I'm begging you.
That's what it's looking like. Like the Russians during the Cold War, like the Japanese during World War II. Same thing, really.
In 2004, King claimed in an interview with conservative talk radio host Sean Hannity that, quote, no American Muslim leaders are cooperating in the war on terror. And, quote, 80 to 85% of mosques in this country are controlled by Islamic fundamentalists. I'll stand by that number of 85%. Is that not an outright insult and attack on American Muslims, Lewis?
Pretty insulting, yeah.
Now, Lewis, your dad is Muslim, not a very practicing Muslim, not particularly religious, but would he not be completely insulted by a statement like that from the congressman from New York?
No doubt he would.
In a September 2007 interview with the website Politico, Congressman King said that there are too many mosques in this country. There are too many people sympathetic to radical Islam. We should be looking at them more carefully and finding out how we can infiltrate them. And when we ask, who's influenced by this stuff? Who hears this type of talk on the Sean Hannity show or on Rush Limbaugh? Who hears it? Well, a PRRI RNS Religion News poll found that males, those who trust Fox News, white evangelicals, and Republicans were more likely to support King's hearings. Any surprise there, ladies and gentlemen? Any surprise to you, Lewis, that this is not a coincidence? When individuals like King make these statements, he knows exactly who it will rile up on both sides. In other words, he knows that the Fox News trusting audience, which is becoming smaller and smaller every day, white evangelicals, Republicans, people who are already Republicans, and males specifically, go back to our Jackson Katz interview on the gender, on politics of gender, are already going to buy in, and then people on the other side are going to point and say, this is completely xenophobic.
Of course, it's all calculated. He knows what to say, he knows where to say it, and he knows when to say it.
And by the way, on WikiLeaks, I am calling on the Attorney General and supporting his efforts to fully prosecute WikiLeaks and its founder for violating the Espionage Act. And Peter King asked Secretary of State Hillary Clinton to determine whether it's possible to declare WikiLeaks a foreign terrorist organization. Now, if you're like me, you're wondering, what on earth is Peter King talking about? I mean, literally, what on earth is he talking about? It is truly incredible.